Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy. Welcome back to more Mario and Luigi, Partners in Time. Last occasion, we wound up going deeper into the Toadwood Forest and stumbled upon this little monstrosity, the Vim Factory. The doors to it were, well, not locked, but cut off by a pool of purple instant death juice that the Mario series is known for having in its swamps. Tastes so good, man. So we had to go around and we had to make ourselves a bridge for the front door. This time, with the bridge built, we're going inside, and this is probably the coolest door opening thing I have ever seen. Yeah, that is a cool door. And now that we're here, we can see the floor is all covered in bandages. I guess there were budget cuts to this place. Anyway, I want you to listen to this music right now. I love it. It just sounds so intense yet energetic at the same time. And hello! Area restricted. All noob intruders to be hacksored by us Leet Hammer Bros. We are Shroopa allies. We rocksoar you, then raffle, then you cry. We receive orders through antennas on these Leet helmets. They are hotness. We must obey all orders. We like to pwn noobs for Master Shroobzors. You equals noobs, bros equals Leet. Prepare for total pwnage. Woot, 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 woot. Noobs still are not pwned. Continue pwnership until all noobs are pwned. Escape is impossible. We are Leet. We owns Jew. You will get flat-sword by our Leet hammers. These guys. These frickin' guys. First off, they have some bros attacks that can actually hurt pretty meanly if you're not well timed. You can counterattack them by jumping on them though, but these guys, the Leet frickin' Hammer Bros. I've been waiting to talk about them. First off, Bro Flowers might be a good move to use right here, so I think I'm gonna use that right off the bat, but I've been waiting to talk about them. And I will be waiting a few extra seconds until I've concentrated enough to do this right. We got that in. Now, I bet I know what you're thinking. I bet you're thinking that when this game was initially released, people were probably like, we need to burn Treehouse in hot oil for putting memes in our games, like so many people say nowadays. Actually, no. I remember when this game was new, and I remember that the Leet Hammer Bros were easily the— oh, ouch, that's unintentional fake out, I guess. I remember that they were hands down the best received thing in the game. I'm not kidding. I knew people who really deeply disliked Partners in Time, as I've said. And I remember even they said the Leet Hammer Bros are the reason to play this game. At least play up to that point so you can experience it because it's glorious. And it's so different from how things are nowadays. And I'm sure that some of you seeing this for the first time today are saying, well, that was then, this is now. Point stands that it is done a lot more today than it was back then. And I do agree with that. I do agree that it is done more than it is now. And I also do agree that there are times where little in-jokes, cultural references based on memes or not, sometimes they are a bit forced. But I don't feel that this is one of these cases. In the Japanese version, yes, they speak in katakana to show that they are not themselves, but in English, you could go with just putting beeps and boops between their words, but I think that this was actually a pretty clever way to show that they're being controlled by robots and that they're not talking as themselves. I thought that that was actually pretty clever. I've said before that the English language version of Partners in Time came first, and it does have the earliest build date, but I don't know what the process was on a writing level. I can't tell you for certain, like, yes, this is how these characters were originally intended to be. I really don't know that, but I don't feel that it's important because my argument's that it works well in the context. However, on that note, I also see people saying this, like, do you think that people in Japan, you know, creative people in Japan, do you think that they don't also put cultural references and things like that in their work? There are memes in Japanese games as well that get referenced. They're just Japanese memes, so you don't know what they are or recognize them because you don't talk on the internet in Japanese. So basically what I'm trying to say is that this is a really good example of showing that this thing can happen anywhere in the world and it's not just in the language that you speak. And I think it's a particularly interesting case because, like I said, of just how differently received this sort of thing was back in 2005. Maybe it's because it wasn't as overdone back then, but yeah, I remember everyone thinking it was the coolest thing ever. Speaking of the coolest thing ever, we got a level up, which I'm about to turn into the lamest thing ever. So, attack's looking really good, but I was kind of hurting in the way of defense in that fight. Ooh, stash is looking nice too. I don't really have good rolls on defense or HP. I think I'm just gonna go for POW because it had some 5s on it. Got a 3. Almost looks like a 5. And then defense, speed. I'll go defense. Yeah, there's my 5. Been waiting for that. Whoa, my helmet antenna, it's broken. Oh man, yes! Hey, mine broke too. Talk about lucky. I mean, did you hear what was coming out of my mouth? I know, dude, seriously, who talks like that? Anyway, I think these tots freed us. You think? You little taters trashed our antennas? Right on. Seriously, thanks. You saved our bacon. We were not right in the head. So listen, gotta let us thank you by hooking up with these spare hammers. And see, the whole thing is very tongue-in-cheek. They acknowledge how goofy it is. Even if I don't agree with all memeage games, Leet Hammer Bros, you're cool. You're cool in my books. Now you can be Hammer Bros, literally, but we better teach you how to use them first. I think that was actually a wrong usage of literally. I try to work on that, but every now and again it slips through. Ready to learn the ABCs of hammer and stuff? Well, I don't know my ABCs normally though, so I might as well learn some ABCs. We'll explain from the top, so open your eyes, guys. Oh my god, they say they would explain from the top! I love it! So step 1, press R to change the action icons to a little hammer dealy and spinny thingamajig. When these icons change, press X or Y to do different things. More on that in a sec. Once you've changed the action with R, all you have to do is press X. That'll make Baby Mario swing his hammer. Whack! He can smash obstacles and smack walls and stuff. Give it a shot, little man. I'll be waiting up ahead. You see, if we could just jump like him, we wouldn't need hammers in the first place. That's why they were so generous with giving these to us. Sweet. All right, you're a natural, kid. Now it's time to learn the second hammer action. This one rules. It'll let you tunnel underground and pass below gates and stuff. Like I told you earlier, press R to change the action icon. Then press Y. That'll put you in a shoulder stand. Then press Y again. Zip. You'll tunnel under the ground like a baby drill. Pretty cool, am I right? You ought to be able to go right under this barrier here. To pop back up, just press X or Y. Let's see it in action. Rocket boys. Rocket boys. There's no rockets here, so unfortunately it doesn't work as a pun like the other things you said. We will travel slower when tunneling underground, but this does kind of open up more possibilities for some puzzle solving, and oh man, I wanted to knock that down while you were on it. One thing I forgot, you can't tunnel on hard-looking floor in front of you there. Try to do it, and there's not even a comedic animation. It just says, nope, buddy, can't do it. Not gonna do it. Gonna draw an X over your command, because that's not allowed. Keep going through here. Whenever you're tunneling underground, obviously you can't jump, so there's also that. And goodbye, I actually got to maim you in some way. So endeth the hammer practice, little buds. Oh wait, we got one last bit of special info for you. While you're out adventuring, look for suspicious marks. When you see one of these marks, drill under it, and then pop out. If you come out under a mark, you'll get a bean, tots. Ha, bientôt. If you collect tons of beans, good things will come your way. Just makes me think of that French word. And that's all we gotta tell you, taters. Use those hammers to hurry up and rescue your pals. Let's break, bro. And we're back to the intense music. So, in the hub area of the Vim Factory, we have a quad door that we conveniently can't do anything about. Can go this way. Correction, can't go this way. I knew that would be the case, though, but it was just kind of fun that the door was open and it looked like you could. So, I thought I'd kind of milk that for what it was worth. So we'll go on up ahead. We are branching off a little bit, and yeah, now we got our first instances of just kind of solving puzzles using our newfound hammers. Nothing all that special, nothing too unusual. I think this area could have served as the tutorial just fine, though, but that's just me, and oh, hey. So, they said if you see suspicious-looking areas to tunnel over them, tunnel under them, or tunnel into them, and then do that, and you can get a bean. Unlike in Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga, there's no who beans or he beans or anything like that. These are just beans. Only one variety. They don't have an immediate purpose either. We're gonna have to see later what those are used for. Now, in the vein of me telling you about me being the worst Mario & Luigi player ever when I grew up, I read that they were saying if you see suspicious areas in the ground, you can find beans. That tutorial was the first time I had ever heard of such a mechanic existing, even though I beat the prequel to this game, which has that mechanic in it. And you're thinking like, okay, well that was the first bean you ever collected? Nope, not even close. I had no idea what they were talking about. I thought the X's on the ground were just an aesthetic thing or just a Japanese thing. So I just kind of forgot about it for a while, and then I accidentally discovered it much later in the playthrough. It's kind of embarrassing. And speaking of embarrassing, Baby Mario is being held back by Baby Luigi. Again, Baby Luigi better get used to his lot in life right now while he's young. Like the little faces on these computers. I think that's something that will never truly die, especially this printer that's like vomiting out the paper. Bum 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 bum. I am so sorry, but I love this song. Yes, I do. And I am getting out of tune. I'm not even remotely close. Let's go onward. I shouldn't try to steal Tim's shtick. Let's see. Can't go that way? All right. Well, we'll go into this tube. And now we are going through the ventilation units. I guess confirm that Shroops need to breathe oxygen. We got 2 refreshing herbs, and those come at a very convenient time, as up ahead, we have a new enemy, and it looks rather poisonous. Hey! Check it out. Now we'll teach you how to fight with hammers like we do. Choose the hammer. This guy's a Spiny Shroopa. Now, when your hammer shakes, press the X button. Tell the little green tot to press the Y button. Choose the hammer. Now, when your hammer shakes, press the Y button. Do a pretty decent amount of damage. Let me teach you how to counter and attack with your hammer. Unlike with jumping, where you just press the button to dodge and counter, you have to hold the hammer out, and when they get close, you have to let go of the button to be able to counterattack. It is a little bit trickier, hence that I thought you were gonna stop time and do that, but I gotta stop putting so much faith in these tutorial characters. Your counter is holding the button and releasing. Don't forget to practice. So it does make things a little more complicated. Anyway, you saw how much damage that did. I found the timing of these guys a little bit hard to get used to on my first playthrough, and no joke, because I was upping nothing but HP and not attack or defense or anything like that, and I was having to get used to the timing, I actually got a game over in this tutorial when I was a kid. So, yeah, 2 stories, one after another in rapid succession. I think those enemies do hit a little bit too hard to be tutorial baddies, especially when they are allowed to really hit you in that fight, but jeez, like, of all things... You better be sorry to start. Oh, you're teaching us about beans. Press A. All right, yeah, so we press right. We have another tab that will tell us just exactly how many beans we have. That's all I have to point out. Back to adventure. Only have 1 so far. Oh, well. We can technically go back and get lots and lots of items, though, but we kind of don't have the bros right now, so we're going to be saving that at least until we get them back, so not doing that for a little while. Besides, it's not like the beans have any actual apparent use right away. Getting first strikes with this hammer sucks because my arms are so short. Try this. And no, you cannot hurt them with jumps whatsoever. They will counterattack you by just simply existing. There's that. And they actually have another attack that we haven't seen yet. I'm kind of hoping that we'll get a chance to, because that actually does play a part in how I game over on a tutorial. I kind of wanted to show that. Hit you, get a mushroom drop. Continuing through this way. Just kind of making our way. Don't get the first strike once again. Didn't really see him coming. All right, got 2 of them. Maybe this time we'll get a little bit luckier. Oh, that's something new, actually. We've inflicted him with Dizzy. He will not be able to move again until his turn comes around next. You could do a lot of things. You could try to finish off an enemy before they're able to come back from being dizzy. You could focus on another enemy just so that you might not have to take damage that turn or have to worry about any attacks. It's kind of up to you how you handle the situation. If you get first strikes on enemies, there is also a chance if they can be inflicted with Dizzy. So even though it is hard to land the first strike, it does have a bit of risk versus reward involved. And of course, we didn't get to see the attack that I was wanting to show there because I inflicted them with Dizzy and beat them too fast. So I guess in my case, it was a little bit of a blessing and a curse. Nothing over here. I think maybe there should be. Oh, yeah. Another thing about drilling underground is that enemies will not see you, so you can sneak up on them during this. Or you can pop out of the ground and during your stun animation, they'll hit you anyway. One thing that's very interesting about these guys, though, is the agony. As I was saying, something that's very interesting about the Spiny Shroopas is that they're actually related to an unused Bros attack. In pre-release screenshots of this game, and I think even in some unused files, you can find remnants of a Bros attack that would have been like the green shell, but using one of the spiny shells, and to hit it back and forth, you'd be knocking it with your hammer. I'm guessing that maybe it was just really similar to an existing Bros attack, and maybe the timing of having to hold the hammer and release it instead of pressing the button was awkward. Maybe it would have done a little bit more damage. I could kind of see it being like the advanced green shell, but able to be used with just the babies because it is spiked and it would do more damage, but it is kind of a strange thing. And what did I actually get? Was it the... Maybe it was the unarmed jeans, because I don't think I bought 2 pairs of those. Yeah, okay, sorry. I so focused on what I am talking about random useless trivia that I forget what I'm actually supposed to be talking about. It is me after all. Burrow underground again. And then we've come full circle. We have found the nose of the Woody that Mario and Luigi are still trapped in. I always wanted to become a booger. And now I have.
Peekaboo! Babies!
Babies! If I ever meet Charles Martinet, I am totally having him say that line. And we have another tutorial, just when you thought we were getting into a real boss fight. Yeah, Bud's helping Buds makes the world go round. We're gonna teach you how to use the hammer when piggybacked, okay? Choose the hammer. So we have another advanced technique here similar to dismounting from the babies when you are jumping. Words that I never thought I would say. When the hammer shakes, you press the button of the bro. And then when it shakes again, you press the button of the baby, causing the bro to swing the baby at the enemy. Totally safe. Nothing could go wrong from doing that. B. And Y. Got a counterattack right here. You use the Y button just all the same. The bro will take the damage from the attack, whereas the baby is the one actually doing the countering. So you do have to remember to use the baby buttons when countering. Basically, so whenever it is your enemy's turn, you jump using the bro's button, you hammer using the baby's button. It's a little bit confusing, and it does kind of play into pay attention to who is currently in your party so that you don't accidentally use the wrong move. But that's that. Not really too bad. And we still haven't seen the other attack that the Spiny Shroopas have. What I was wanting to show is they have a fake-out attack. They can damage you once and then leap at you again. It's kind of a mean attack for a tutorial enemy to have. That's what I was wanting to show. Of course, though, we're not really seeing it, but they can try to leap at you twice in the same turn. We'll go onward. And with that, we've come full circle. So, I guess that's a pretty good stopping point. We went all around the first floor of the Vim Factory. We got our hammers. We did a lot of adventuring with them. We got a lot of new things. We outfitted ourselves for what's ahead. I think we're doing pretty great. Next time on Mario and Luigi, Partners in Time. We're gonna be heading into this other door to see what is in the deepest depths of the Vim Factory. See you guys there. And that map on the top screen is beautiful with like the stars in the background. I like it. Bye.